Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan. This is a much anticipated matchup and a huge fight for Sean O'Malley on a big card. This is a really big opportunity. And Petr Yan, obviously, the former champion. Another one where this is a fight where it's very tempting to look at O'Malley as the underdog and go, okay, I think he can do this. And he very well fucking could. I don't think he's a bad bet at all. But I think that if I'm being honest with myself, I think that Petr Yan wins this fight. I think that Yan keeps his hands up, right? He's always very defensively responsible, and he's a very good striker. And he's very patient, right? O'Malley might be able to take advantage of the fact, though, that sometimes it takes Petr Yan a little bit to get going. And if O'Malley can start tagging him early, O'Malley has some undeniable power. Like, he can put you to sleep. So if he can start tagging Yan with big shots early and get ahead big in the round or get a finish early on, there's a real chance that he wins this fight. Like, I don't want to act like Sean O'Malley does not have a fucking chance. He 100% has a chance. His striking is fucking, there's something about it that when he hits guys, it's just like, it's special, right? And you can tell the way he moves. But I just think that Yan is going to stay responsible enough to get through a little bit of the, like, he's going to get to see everything that O'Malley's going to throw at him, and then he's going to start being able to pour it on, right? I love the timing on his jab. He'll switch up the timing, doubles it up, comes over top with the right hand, really moves in, and he like covers distance like with his strikes and his footwork. He's very, very technically sound in the boxing department, and he also chases takedowns a little bit more aggressively than O'Malley does, at least in the history of their fights. You got to remember, though, O'Malley has some jiu-jitsu. You don't get to see a lot of it, but I do think that he's very talented on the ground, and we might get to see a little bit of that in this fight. And you saw that while Petr Yan was able to, again, stay safe and get to a decision with Sterling, he gave up the back. So it's like, I don't know what happens if they get into scrambles on the ground. But I think that Yan just has a firm enough understanding of top control, and I think he's probably the one most likely to end up on top in those situations. I don't think O'Malley will be the one landing the takedowns. I think O'Malley's path to success is through the striking, keeping it on the, which isn't a bad plan because like a lot of the times too, Yan's not like pushing you up against the fence hunting for double legs. He's hitting like trips in the middle of the octagon, very like almost Zabit, Magomed Sharipov-esque, right? Like that kind of shit. And I don't know. I just think that like Yan's going to be able to get close to O'Malley with his boxing, hit stuff like that, hit some of those trips, and just, I think he'll just kind of dominate O'Malley by staying technically sound, right? I do think, again, O'Malley has a chance. His striking might be so dynamic that it confuses Yan, and he's not able to keep up with the possibilities. But I think the key for O'Malley in this fight, if he's going to win, is going to be volume. It has to be volume and variety. He has to be throwing strikes at Petr Yan that Yan's not ready for, right? And that he can't let him start getting reads on things and recognizing patterns. He's got to be keeping things in his face, and he's also got to be successful. He's got to make him respect them, right? But if you see Yan just kind of like downloading, and Sean's not really putting pressure on him, I think Yan will start picking up the pressure, and he'll be the one pushing Sean backwards. In my mind, that's how I see the fight going. But if O'Malley can just get firing early on, it could be a big night for him, man. If he throws enough variety out there and can just kind of like not let Yan get going, I think the first round in this fight is super important, right? And it all depends on how O'Malley comes out and his like, I guess, sort of strategy for this fight. Like I said, I think a fast start is important, getting that volume and variety out there, but we'll see.